Okay, let's take our adorable little shuttle to Confed HQ, shall we? And just make sure I'm all plugged in here. Oh, my alarm's going off. Hang on. Alright, moving on.
Who was that guy? How did he know your name?
I wish I knew. I'd love to get my hands on him, whoever he is.
Did you see the movie pulled back there? You called me a hot dog, right?
Well, that wasn't hot doggy, maniac. That was the move of a true master.
They're referring, of course, to Caesar releasing that mine and blowing it up with his afterburners. Which is something I'd like to do if the game would let me.
Is that the Victory?
Can you believe it? It's an Orbital museum now. Relic of the war. Like some farmers I know. Probably got a plaque right over your bunk.
We missed the Victory, don't we? I love this whole sequence. It has the whole Wing Commander feel to it. That there is the St. Helens and the Vesuvius. And they're these new gigantic class of carriers. Dude, you're huge! Kind of hard to tell at first that's what you're looking at. I mean, especially if you were unfamiliar with the game, you wouldn't know really what that was supposed to be or if it was something special or not. He's happy to see Blair.
Magnificent, aren't they? I bet you wish you had one of those during the war. Would have put the fear of God into the Kilrathi.
Well, carriers don't fly themselves, Admiral.
Quite right, Colonel. It is the men, isn't it? Well, it looks like the pastoral life agrees with you. I'm envious.
Awkward.
Yeah, if I was a little more confident in the Confederation's security, I'd walk away in an instant.
No, you wouldn't, Tolwyn.
Well, reports are that you ran into some trouble on your way here.
Yes, sir.
Law and order. Concepts that seem to be crumbling throughout the Confederation.
These are transitional times, Admiral.
Yes, but in the Kilrathi, we had a common enemy. It was humanity's finest hour. Now we cast about uncertain. Well, you've seen it for yourself. The wanton destruction. That's why Confed needs your services. Your experience again.
You know where my loyalties have always been, sir.
Something we count on, Colonel. For the past months now, there's been an undeclared war waged against us. Acts of terrorism, piracy, sabotage. Is it symptomatic of these transitional times, or is there something else at work here?
Do you see a strategy or design behind it?
Every time I connect the dots, I'm always guided back to our longtime allies in the border worlds.
And you think they've undertaken some kind of guerrilla war?
Well, their relationship with Confed has always been uneasy. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance.
Which is where I come in.
Interesting.
Well, we have a long history together. One that, I dare say, has been a bit rocky in the past.
We have had our differences, sir.
Yeah. But there's no denying our achievements. Which is why I have personally reinstated you to active duty. Not only will you be my eyes and ears, but your very presence in the border worlds will send a potent message to all the galaxy.
I am no politician, sir.
Actions speak louder than words, Colonel. I'm not sending you there merely as a symbol. I'm putting you back in the cockpit, where you'll be reunited with an old friend. The thrill of battle.
He's like, I'll get into this more later, but to me it's been very unusual that Toland decides to reinstate Blair, and you will see why later, and I'll talk about it more, but...
That's the name of the tune, right?
Hey, maniacs!
Blair.
Oh my gosh. Colonel Blair,
nice
sir.
meeting you. Well, thank you. Let me take your bag. Well, thank you very
Colonel Blair, sir. It's an honor, sir. Nice to meet you.
All hail the mighty heart of the tiger. You know,
Maniac.
you're not the only war hero in Confed. I've taken out more cats than most ships' entire attachments.
And
Do I
he
get the red
has.
carpet treatment? No. No, I carry my own duffel bag. I don't go schmoozing with the Admiral. Admiral Tolwyn, Tolwyn, Tol... Has he said anything about me?
You haven't heard? He couldn't stop talking about you, maniac.
What?
Well, it's classified. I mean, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
I got clearance. I got clearance. I'll tell you about it later. Wait a minute.
So, as you can see, the tone of this game is already quite different. I mean, with the war over things, everyone's kind of happy, but there's still a lot of trepidation and uncertainty in the air, so it's kind of interesting. Let's log in here, as arbitrary as a call sign is in this game. So here we can look at the kill board as usual. We have 2 kills, so they track those pirate kills we made. And let's save our game. Player 1. And just look who happens to be here. Captain Ison. Look at that computer. So futuristic.
You remember our bet?
I was hoping you'd forget, Captain.
I told you you weren't through with flying. You kept telling me you were done.
I'll never say never, I guess. I gotta tell you, this ship really puts the victory to shame. Looks like Confed's been taking good care of you.
Yes, they've been taking care of me. It's a different task
So
now,
even Ison's
but that
demeanor
means I
is
still need
kind of
good
strange right now.
pilots.
Captain Ison, please report to the bridge.
We're getting ready to jump to the Hellespont system. Take care of a little trouble. You take a good look around, you'll find it a lot different than your last tour of duty.
Deck conference has been canceled today due to anti-gravity.
It's quite a bit of walking around and meeting new people here before we actually get to flying a mission, so... I'm not sure if the ship is necessarily a different class than the Victory, our previous tour of duty, but I mean, it's obviously newer and fancier. I think the Victory was just a really old ship for one thing. There's a new feature in this game. If there's somebody to talk to somewhere on the ship, it'll indicate it here, as opposed to having to go look around all the different locations just to see if there's someone there or not. If it's red, you gotta go there in order to move forward. If it's blue, then the encounter is optional. Here's Vagabond.
Look what the solar winds blew in. Welcome aboard, Colonel.
Don't you wish you lived in the future in
cards draw
space
for
so
the
you
next
could
drink.
say to somebody, look what the solar winds blew in?
Better luck next time.
You'd sound pretty nerdy if you just said that
You still
today to
living up that
anybody
call
else.
sign of yours?
Man can do okay. long as it doesn't stay in one place too long. Of course, I had to get greedy. I stayed in the active reserve. All those monthly credits seemed like free money.
Yeah.
Who would have figured they'd actually reinstate me? I got played for a sucker. I ought to know better, right?
Well, I've never seen you lose a hand when it counted, Vagabond. Speaking of which, I think I owe you a drink.
Not even just Ison, but even Vagabond's demeanor seems kind of strange. And that's what I like about the beginning of this game, is like, you really don't know what's going on or why you would possibly be reinstated to duty, because there is no war going on. Obviously there's this pending conflict with the border worlds, but I mean, we just don't understand how serious it really is. So let's go to our first briefing.
Colonel, shall we cut to the chase?
Wouldn't have it any other way, sir.
Good. You know, some of these newbies rattle on about what if this happened, what if that happened. This is the brain case, I tell them. Make good use of it. Now, we're here in the Hellespont because pirates have been disrupting the trade routes in and out of the system. As yet, we don't know what their motivations are. Some of their attacks
Money's their motivations, right?
To confiscate
the
supplies
pirates.
and weapons, yet others are simply senseless, violent acts of terror. Now, I want you and a wingman to escort this supply transport to the jump point, ensuring its safe passage out of the system. Then, fly to this nav point where communications array is under construction. Now, upon your arrival, you'll relieve the patrols currently providing security in the area. Understood?
Yes, sir. Oh, and Captain, it's great to be flying for you again.
Well, feeling's mutual.
Always a captain. So here we can change our loadout. We could do the longbow, but we're just gonna go with the Hellcat. You'll notice the Thunderbolt and the arrow are no longer here, which is kind of unusual, but maybe you'll see why later. Alright, let's go with the Hellcat then. We can even choose our wingman here. And I do have a Maniac, but I think it'd be fun just to switch to Vagabond. Alright, let's do this. So you also notice in Wing Commander 4 there's no cockpit view. I mean, it's all just a heads-up display. You can't even switch to, you know, that's a keyboard. Oh, that's my problem. I didn't save these settings before. So anyway, we have no view of like what the inside of the ship looks like. All you got is the just kind of this big heads-up display, which is what I'm.
Break formation and open fire. Time to earn my pay.
It's what I usually prefer anyway, just for maximum visibility. But I still wish I could see what some of these ships look like. Power distribution is the same. I mean, it all functions the same, even though the bars are now vertical rather than horizontal. Vagabond's still a good wingman to have, obviously. Yeah, a lot of things are much more smoother in this game than in Wing Commander 3. Not an awful lot.
Time to earn my pay.
You know, the way you fly around in space pretty much feels the same, but... Ooh, an ace. Oh, I just ran into that guy. Cracked my windshield. Killed him though. I can't point to it, but in the bottom left corner there's a damage indicator, so you've seen the arrow's gone up a little bit on it. If that goes all the way up, you die. But there's other things indicating damage. It's not just kind of an arcade-ish mechanism like that, but a game mechanic, I should say. Am I waiting for this guy to jump? Yeah, I guess I am. How's Vagabond doing? He's good. Still got your object cameras and your tracking cameras, chase camera.